Hello, families. Welcome to 6th grade mathematics. A little bit about me. My name is Hyun E. Last name is pronounced like the letter E. I use she, her pronouns. I am originally from Seoul, South Korea. And here on the right, it says 안녕하세요, which is hello in Korean. So 안녕하세요. I moved here to the United States when I was about 7 years old, and I grew up here in Olympia. I attended Centennial Elementary School, Washington Middle School, and Olympia High School. And after that, I moved to Seattle to attend the University of Washington, where I earned my bachelor's degree in mathematics and a master's degree in teaching. And after about 7 years living in Seattle, I moved back here to Olympia. And this is my first year teaching. And here's a picture of me and my family when I graduated from my graduate program. So 6th grade math will focus on these big ideas, using symbols to describe the world, visualizing the center and spread of data, folding and unfolding objects, finding and using unit rates, reasoning with proportions, taking apart prisms and polygons, expanding the number line, and generalizing. This is a great representation to show you that these big ideas are really connected to each other. Here on the left are those same big ideas, and on the right are the Common Core 6th grade content standards. And you can pause the video to take a look at both, but they are really connected and related to each other. Students will also learn to be a mathematician. These are the rights that students will have as mathematicians. This chart was created by Miss Chelsea, the other 6th grade math teacher here. The rights of a mathematician are skills and practices students will learn to do in this class. It's really a student-friendly version of the Common Core mathematical practice standards. And feel free to pause the video to take a look at both and see how they are connected. The 6th grade math team is really trying to change the way math is taught and the way students learn math. So let's first go over what old math is. You might be familiar with math classes where the teacher starts the class with teaching the students an algorithm or a formula and telling the students this is how to solve this problem when it's like this, and then assigning students a worksheet or doing the evens on page 133 and having students do a lot of rote learning and practicing. So old math focuses a lot on algorithms, procedures, and formulas without really teaching students how and why they work. Old math is influenced by the Industrial Revolution. It focuses a lot on computation and speed. And old math focuses on there being only one correct solution and makes little, if any, room for mistakes. So what is new math? Well, new math, we are going to focus on creative problem solving and making thinking visible. Students are going to be positioned as the mathematical authority, and students will focus on what it means to think like a mathematician. Students will learn to be skeptical and how to convince a skeptic. Students will develop and strengthen number sense, and they'll move from being an answer getter to a sense maker and really understand math. They'll also investigate and understand the world around us using math as a lens. So here is an example of something we did earlier this year. We did a dot talk where I showed the students a picture of a collection of dots, and they had to figure out how many dots there are without counting them. And I only gave them like 3 seconds to look, and then after that, students shared out how they saw the picture or the dots. So here's the picture of the dots. And here are the students' representations of how they saw those dots. This is a great example of where students made their thinking visible, bore the mathematical authority, strengthened their number sense and became sense makers, and experienced the joy of discovery. Mathematics education is really civics education because students will learn to make sense of societal and global problems. They'll learn to listen to understand and learn what healthy skepticism is. Students will learn to convince others with evidence because in math, it's not just about the answers, it's about the evidence and how and why. Students will also learn to be willing to revise their thinking, coming to consensus, practicing humility, and most importantly, working with each other, working with diverse groups to build consensus and solve problems together. This is a grading rubric I will use for assessments and projects. There are three categories: problem solving, representation, and communication, which are related to the Common Core mathematical practice standards. They will be graded on a 3-point scale where 1 is below grade level, 2 is approaching grade level, and 3 is meeting or on grade level. Students will also be graded on completion of assignments. For each assignment, there will be a success criteria, and students will see that to know what their expectations are and what I'm looking for. And the assignments will be graded based on that success criteria out of a 3-point scale. On my Schoology page, you'll see current work and activities that we're doing in class, and all the previous past materials will be moved to a folder by month. Students will submit their work through Schoology, and later in the year, we will use a program called ClassKick. I have not talked about ClassKick with the students yet, so don't worry if this is the first time you're hearing about ClassKick. And resubmissions are welcome. Students should email me if they want to resubmit something or if they did resubmit something, just to let me know. Participation expectations. So students should be on time and ready to learn. Students should be respectful and kind to everyone with different identities and different learning levels. And your students are doing such a great job with that already, and I thank them very much. Students should follow the Good Group Work Agreement. This is an agreement that the students came up with themselves. They collaborated in groups on what they like to see and hear and do when they're working on math in a group, and what they don't like seeing and hearing and doing when they are working on math in a group. Students should also be collaborative. We do a lot of group work in math, and students should be participating and communicating in class and with each other and with their group mates, whether that's talking on the mic or typing in the chat. Videos are optional, but it's always nice to see everyone's faces, so try to encourage your student to turn their cameras on. I understand Wi-Fi is an issue in many homes, especially if there are more than one student in your home doing online school. So if the cameras and the mic are off, I totally understand. It is okay. Try to encourage your student to still type in the chat with their group mates, though, at least saying like, "Hi, my internet is slow," or something like that, so their group mates know that they're not ignoring them and that they are still there wanting to learn with them. How to help your students. Celebrate your mistakes. That means your brain is growing. And celebrate those little successes. Use those positive reinforcements. Ask your student if they need help. Encourage them to email me if they need help or have questions. I know sixth graders, they can still be shy. Even adults can be shy or be reluctant to ask for help or ask questions. So please encourage them to email me, to reach out if they need anything, and have your students check Schoology for those assignments and due dates. And to contact me, here is my email, hyi@osd.wednet.edu. And thank you for watching. Bye.